Welcome back to Just Scribble. About a week ago, Amber, the owner of the Planner Exchange, reached out to me and asked if I would like to try out their planner rental service free of charge to see what it was all about and give you guys an honest review here on my channel of their services and their products and how it all works and all of that. And I agreed to do it partly because I love supporting small business and helping small businesses grow and get started. And I also think it's a very unique concept that would be super helpful to a lot of people because they let you rent a notebook and try it before you buy it. And so that way you aren't committed, especially for a notebook in a higher price range. You don't have to commit to purchasing it. You can try it out first for 14 days and see what you think. So I took her up on her offer and I picked out a notebook. It shipped out the next day and it arrived today. And so we are going to open it together, look at it, go through what the process is, how this all works, and all of that. And then in 2 weeks, right before I send this back, I'm going to do a second video to let you guys know what I thought during the whole rental period. What I thought about the notebook, the case that they give you to carry the notebook in, what I thought about the rental period, and all of that. That way you guys have everything that you need to know to decide if this is a service that you might want to participate in. So the package comes in a mailer, which has a note on it to reuse it so that you can send your item back using this mailer, which is awesome. Saves the environment some, which I think is really good. And you don't have to come up with a mailer on your own to send it back. You do have to sign for the package when you get it. So when it comes, you do have to give your signature to the post office in order to get your package. So if you aren't home, they will leave you a slip, which actually happened to me, and you can either schedule for redelivery, sign it and have your postman deliver it, or go to the post office and pick it up. And I think that that is a nice security option. And the rental fee that you pay for your notebook includes the shipping to you and the return shipping. And so in your package, they include a return shipping label so that you can then package your rental back up in the mailer and send it back at the end of the rental period. The rental period is 14 days and it starts the day after you get it. So I got mine today, so my rental period starts tomorrow. And on the 14th day, it needs to be in the mail to go back to them. So in 2 weeks, I will be mailing this back to them. So most of the notebooks that they have listed are pre-owned. A lot of them are higher end notebooks like VDS, Gelio, things that cost you quite a bit of pocket money to get. And so it's a nice idea to test things out. It also gives you the option of testing out a size or a style if you're not really sure if it's right for you. And so if you wanted to try out rings, they have rings. They have traveler's notebooks, some folios, different options. And so you can try those out and you can try out different sizes. And if you don't have inserts in that size, you can actually add those to your cart when you purchase your rental or when you pay for your rental, and they will include the inserts for you with your package so that that way you're ready to go from day one as soon as you get it so that you can try it out, which I think is super great. They do not allow for like special requests or ISOs in search ofs. So if there's a particular notebook that you're wanting that they don't have, you can't request it. You'd have to just keep checking back until what you were looking for was added. But you can definitely send them a message just letting them know that it's something you would like to see in case they come across it when they are adding inventory. But you can get on a wait list if the notebook that you want is out for rent at that time. So if you go online and you pick one and you're like, oh, this is the notebook I really want to try, and it's out of stock because it's currently being rented, you can send them an email and they will put you on a wait list for it so that when it gets returned, you can go on and get your rental. The rental price is between $30 and $50. It depends on the notebook. It does include, as I said, the shipping, but it also includes a planner travel bag, which is this dust bag that goes on the outside when you are shipping it. And then inside, it comes with a knit bag that you use to carry your notebook in your purse or your tote. That way your notebook is protected and it doesn't get excessive amount of damage or markings from being rented. And so it enables them to keep them in their best condition for renters. You can decide to purchase the notebook that you rented. The reimbursement of your rental price depends on where you are in the rental period, in the 14-day period, on how they credit you your rental fee and apply it towards your purchase. So it really just depends on where you are. So you'll have to reach out to them if you have rented it, and on day 3 you decide, this is for me, I want this notebook, I am in love with this notebook, it is my favorite notebook. You would contact them and they would work with you on that. I think that's pretty much all the specifics. When you do rent it and you check out, you do sign the rental agreement. You're going to send it back at the appropriate time of your rental period at the end of the 14 days. You're not going to damage the item or cause excessive wear and tear to it, things like that. So that is the overall process and how it works. It was super seamless for me to go on and pick a notebook. The hardest problem I had is that there aren't a lot of notebooks that I actually want to try out or sizes that I want to try out. I do not like rings, so any ring notebook on that site is something that I'm not interested in. Even if that company may sell a leather in a non-ring style, I don't want to try out rings. And so I immediately kind of cut those out. And then some of the notebooks, because I am a traveler's notebook lover and I do own quite a few, some of them are notebooks that I have already owned or I currently own. And so finding something that was kind of on my wish list that would make this rental be worth it to me and also allow me to provide you guys with my best opinions and thoughts was to find something that I had been thinking about buying that was expensive for me to purchase, that I didn't know if I wanted to do it unless I could try it out. And so the one thing that is on my wish list that I have been wanting is a Vanderspec in a B6 in their Codex, which is like basically a folio style, kind of like my hand stitched leather tee with a snap closure. And so I had been wanting a Vanderspec in their undyed Janet leather in a B6 to carry my B6 Stalogy in. Every time I see someone's undyed VDS, I am in love. I love undyed leather. It is awesome, and I don't have anything that is undyed that has a snap closure, and I just thought it would be something that would be awesome to have and a great addition to my B6 size. So that was kind of my wish list item that I was like, oh, if they have that, that's what I'm going to get, and that's what I'm going to try out. But they didn't have it in B6 size, but they did have a VDS custom Codex in A6 in the Janet leather that has the Janet brown on the outside and the undyed on the inside. And so I snapped that up. Now this is not a size that I normally would use. I used to use A6 for my planner and I don't anymore, but it is a very portable size and I do own quite a few notebooks, 2 of which are sitting right here. And so I have notebooks to use in it, notebooks that I had planned on getting back into that I had never finished. And so I figured this would be a good one to test out because it allows me to try the overall style and the leather and feel it and see the quality and to use it and figure out if it really is something I want, because regardless of which size it is, this is still the same basic notebook. Because the things I really wanted to try were to see if I liked their leather and their design. And so basically it's the same thing, just a little bit smaller. And so that is what I have rented. So I'm going to insert some pictures here because I wanted to show you guys what the listing pictures look like on their site. And so you can see here the outside and the inside and the details. And so these are the pictures that I saw when I picked my rental. And I wanted to show you those so that when we open this up, you can see how that kind of compares to the listing photos. So I'm going to take it out. And this is the beautiful VDS Codex in A6. This is the Janet leather, which I have never held in person. And I kind of wanted to see like how textured it is, how it feels in the hand. This is the brown with the snap closure. And then this is the undyed leather. Here's their business card, which is super cool. It is a sticker, which I think is really awesome. So that is their information so that you have it. I'm going to set that aside. This is the undyed leather, which is gorgeous. So this is the reason that I really wanted to try out the planner exchange for you guys, because I wanted to see how it worked and I wanted to be able to let you guys know about it, because otherwise you may have never heard of it, or you may not have known anyone that had done it, and so you were a little bit unsure of how it all works and what would happen. But I also really wanted to see this leather in person to see if it was something I would love. So it has card pockets here, and then it has a slip pocket there, then 2 pockets here, this pocket there, 2 slip pockets there, pen loop, and then this has the large back pocket, which isn't necessarily something that I would need or would want, but it is super nice inside, which is lovely. It smells like leather, like a beautiful pair of leather boots, which makes me happy on 2 levels. One, because this is Vanderspec leather, which I have never held or touched or smelled in person, but also because it is a rental. And so I was kind of curious if it would have a scent or anything else, and it does not. It smells awesome, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I am super excited. Now, obviously this is not the size that I would buy this in. In an ideal world, I would have been able to rent a B6. But for me, the things I needed to see were the leather, the texture of the leather, how the leather feels, how the notebook is made, the stitching quality, whether or not this is something that I would really want to invest that much money in, regardless of which size it was, because the style is going to be the same. And so I wanted to test that out. And so for me, the size didn't matter. For you, it might matter, so you may have to wait until what you were really wanting was available, or you may be testing a new size out. So this is my A6 Stalogy full year, and it slips in there beautifully, which is awesome. And then it closes, and it has plenty of room. This snap closure for expansion and for my pen. Do I have a pen? Put a micron in there. So I don't know, since I've never owned a VDS, I don't know anything about their pen loops other than what I've seen in people's videos, but it does have elastic on the back so that it can allow for different thicknesses of pens. I don't know that I could get a TWSBI in there, but I could get any of my like Sharpie S gels or my Pilot envelope pens, the pens that I use the most often in my planner, I could get in there easily, and it kind of naturally pulls to the edge. And so it sits next to that. Let's snap it closed, and it looks so pretty. I do sometimes miss this size, carrying the A6. It just always feels so good in your hand, and the notebooks that I love do come in this size. It's just not the right size for me for a planner. It's just too small. If I was a daily planner and I didn't rely on weeklies so much, this would probably be my go-to size. But because, at least in my planning life right now, weeklies is where my planning is, this just doesn't work for me. But maybe it'll be something that I test out in a slower time period in the year and see if it's something I would want to use part of the year. So that is my notebook. It does look very much like it did on the pictures on the listings, which makes me happy. This is my Lauren Phelps design glitter cover that I did on a recent unboxing and shared with you guys on a Hobonichi plain notebook. So I'm going to slide that in there because I'm curious. That fits beautifully as well. So if I got this and I wanted to use a half year Stalogy, which I have in A6, B6, and A5, if I got this style, I could use the half year and it would work quite well also. So what I will do is I will load this up with my notebook. Probably actually I'm going to be carrying this Stalogy in it because I've already started this Stalogy and I'm trying to get back into it and kind of finish it up. But I'm going to load it up, and then everywhere it goes in my tote, it will go in its little baggie like this, and it will stay nice and protected. And then I will use it and love it and see what I think about this notebook. Just in my initial impressions, I really do like it. I don't like this as much as I like the undyed, but that's what I'm in love with, is the undyed. And so that kind of makes sense. I also like the texture of the undyed better. It is smoother and it's just a better fit for me. But my initial impressions are, I do like the making of this. Like, I like the leather, I like the stitching, and so I'm super happy with that. But we will definitely see how it goes. So I will be doing a second video in 14 days, thereabout. It may not go up on the 14th day, but I will do a second video telling you guys how this went as far as having it for the 14 days, what I think about the 14 days as far as the time period for testing it out, the process of getting it repackaged and shipped out, all that kind of stuff, and my overall thoughts on the notebook, if I'm going to actually end up buying one. I will not be buying this one, which would be an option for you when you rent it. This isn't the size I want, so I'm not personally going to be buying this one, but it will be good to know whether or not this is a notebook that I want to buy in the B6 size. And I will let you know just overall what I thought about the entire process with the planner exchange. But so far, I think it is a really great service. They have a lot of notebooks. They have a lot of options as far as styles and colors. I think it's great that they have folios and traveler's notebooks and ring planners, so that no matter what you use, you have a place to go and find something. I think it is an exceptional way to try out a $200, $300, $400 notebook without investing that much money initially. And it's also a great way to try out a pre-owned notebook, and then if you fall in love with it, you can just end up buying it and keeping it, and you've got your new notebook and it has a new home. So I definitely liked the service so far, and I was impressed with everything. The process was just very smooth and it was nice. I appreciate Amber letting me try out this service and rent this notebook so that I could test it out and find out if VDS is for me. And it will probably be a service that I will use again in the future when I find another wish list item that I want to try out ahead of time. And so I definitely suggest you check it out if this is something you might be interested in. I will list all the contact information and details in the description box below. But once again, this is their card with their information, with their website, Instagram, Facebook, hashtag, all of that. Please don't hesitate to put comments below if you have questions for me about this notebook, about the process, about planner exchange, and I will get back with you and answer all of your questions. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you did like this review of the planner exchange. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.